In the second half of the 1970s, a threat hung over the north of England. Women lived in fear of a man who seemed to be invincible. This killer would disappear from view, only to strike again when least expected. His methods were always the same. He struck his victims with a hammer on the head, and then some of the bodies were stabbed and slashed on the chest and neck. The first two known victims were prostitutes, and it didn't take long for the press to make links between these killings and the 19th century killings in Whitechapel. They came up with a name for the killer, the Yorkshire Ripper. Serial killers are not that common, so when the press got hold of the story, they had a field day. By the time of his arrest, 13 women were dead. Another 10 had been savagely attacked and narrowly escaped death themselves. As if this was not shocking enough, it was revealed that he had been questioned by the police no less than 9 times in relation to the Ripper killings, and each time he'd been eliminated from their inquiries. Mark, the case of the Yorkshire Ripper, well, first of all, at this stage, should we even be calling him the Yorkshire Ripper? Don't you think that these titles give criminals some sort of power and status that in actual fact they don't really warrant?
Well, I think, yes, they do. You know, they did give them power and status, but I think what we've got to look at is the public, and most importantly, the media, like to label somebody. What's more important is, why do we remember Peter Sutcliffe and none of the victims?
That's very true. Actually, all the media hype, and in many ways the police investigation, didn't gain momentum until after they noticed that Sutcliffe was in fact murdering not just prostitutes.
Do police officers investigate the killings of prostitutes in the same way as they would investigate a white middle-class person who'd been murdered?
Well, it didn't seem that they did in this case. It seems that actually they attached a high-profile detective to lead the inquiry, didn't they, as soon as Sutcliffe killed a 16-year-old shop assistant.
Yes, and that when you get a victim who is the public are empathic with, the public recognises one of their own, then all of a sudden it has to be taken seriously, both by public and to some degree by the police, although the police will say, no, we investigate every crime in the same way, but you can see, you know, overtly that this is not the case.